Welcome back to the Wholehearted Journey. My name is Meredith Hudson, and my goodness, if you hear my stomach growling a couple times in this, sorry, not sorry, but I am starving. Right now, it is 9 o'clock at night, and I was definitely in a place of saying, make dinner or film this podcast because I need to post it in the morning. Yeah, I chose you guys. I chose you guys. Probably not the best thing for me to do, but I am so excited to talk about something that I absolutely adore to talk about. I love to talk about. And weirdly, I don't talk about it online a lot. I mean, I talk about it with my clients all the time because this plays just like such a big role and kind of like maybe the emotions and the real and raw things that they're going through, especially on their like day one. But in general, it's just nothing is like a day one. And I knew in my heart I need to talk about this. Now, I am not on video for this episode. I'm so sorry about that. I just personally needed a break. Just being on camera. I just need like a mental break. Being on camera every single day is probably one of the most toxic things in the world. And sadly, I've been on camera every day for a little bit over 4 years now. So your girl just needs like a mental break sometimes. And I really like kind of taking those breaks when I'm here sometimes on the podcast because I feel like I'm able to kind of get comfortable. Like right now, I'm like sprawled out on the couch. I'm looking like a hot mess. I may or may not have a little bit of some food in my shirt. And this is just me. If you want to find me in my like most real state, it's here and it's now. And y'all are just going to have to trust that. But sometimes like you just don't need to be on camera and you just need to maybe hear the tone in the voice and let that be, kind of what guides you in this. Okay. But anyways, I want to talk about my day one. I want to talk about my day one. Like, what did that look like? How did that happen? Like, what the heck? Like, what is it? And I think it's one of the most fascinating parts of the entire story is the day one, the first 24 hours. So I'm going to first start off with saying the night before. Like, let's start there. Before I decided to start. Let's start there. What? This is crazy. I'm so excited. Okay, so one night I was in my regular routine of watching TV, staying up way too late. I was actually in the midst of like binge eating, which was daily for me. So it was just severely overeating, just doing my thing. And I was scrolling on social media, and this is the part that makes me sad because I don't remember the person that I'm about to speak of, but I was scrolling on social media and I was already feeling like super icky. When you have those days where you're just like, you're kind of coming to realization of like what you're doing and, it's hard to deny like your behavior or the way that you're living your life or how you're spending your time. Like I just had one of those days where it was hard to ignore it. And I was like fully aware for some reason in this night that like I was making decisions that I wasn't proud of and that I knew I needed to change, but it felt like I had no control and it felt like I had no hope, no willpower. And I was just like in this like pit of despair. And I hated it. And so I'm just doing what a girl does best. Okay. Coating the emotions with food and social media. So I was scrolling and I came across this video of this girl and she looked very similar to me. Actually, she had a very similar body frame as me. And she had such an incredible transformation. Like I think was down like probably 50 pounds. And she was talking about how she did it all on her own and she was making it happen. Now, what I really loved about this video and what I think about personally often is that she wasn't at her goal weight. She was just like in the midst of sharing like the success that she has had. But something about that just really resonated with me. It made me kind of see something that was possible and wasn't automatically like this, I can't do this type of thing. And I saw her, and when I saw her, I saw myself. And there was this piece of me that came out It's almost like this like hidden voice in the back of my like head, like the what's it called, the softest voice in my head. That's what I would call it, because it's not very loud and you can barely hear her over like all the other voices in your head, right? Basically. And I could hear this like voice saying, see, you could do that. You know you can. You know it's possible. And you just won't do it. You're choosing not to. Why are you choosing that? Why are you keep living every single day in this way? And so in that moment, I literally cried. Oh my goodness, I cried. And you know when you can feel this feeling of emotion and it's like a wave that hits you all at once. You feel it in your throat, you feel it in your chest, you feel it in your gut, and it feels so like painful and good weirdly at the same time, because it's like something within you is stirring up. Like I couldn't identify, is it motivation? Is it shame? Is it like embarrassment? Is it like, what is it? But I came to one decision. And I, in that moment, said, tomorrow, no matter how bad I don't want to, no matter how bad I do not want to, I am going to get up and I'm going to start my journey. And I promise I will never look back. That's exactly what went in my head. And I remembered like just hyping myself up in my head, but in a way that's like kind of scared the heck out of me. But I was just like, I know I'm not going to want to in the morning. I know that as soon as I wake up, I'm not going to be motivated anymore. I know it's going to be so easy to say, well, never mind. But I promise right here, right now, no matter what, I promise, I'm going to do it. I have to do it, Meredith. You cannot keep doing this to yourself. You have to say yes, and you have to say yes to never looking back. Do not start another journey and then, a month and get frustrated and give up. Don't sit there and give up on yourself again. Like, do this, do it right, spend the time that it needs to take, do it, and do it the way that you know in your heart you can. And go from there. And you know what? I went to bed that night and I was excited, but I was scared. And I also was like already like fearful of letting myself down. And I woke up, and what was so wild about this moment is like as soon as I opened up my eyes, I was already talking myself out of not doing it. Like I had 500 thoughts of don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Well, maybe right now it's not the best. Maybe you don't even have a gym membership. You don't even have any healthy food in your kitchen. Like you don't have anything prepped. You don't even know what to do. Like you can't do this. I was having all those thoughts in my head, and I haven't put my feet on the ground yet. Like I haven't like rolled out of bed yet. But as always, I woke up and I had my hands and my feet were numb. I couldn't even like get out of bed in the morning. Like if I was late to something, I was screwed, because the homegirl could barely walk. It would have been painful because my feet are numb, my hands are numb. I could barely grab my phone in the morning to turn off my alarms. Like, so I'm just like laying there, and it's like almost kind of a little bit of a blessing in disguise, because I was forced to sit there and kind of wake up my feet and wake up my hands so I was forced to listen to these voices go on and on and on in my head, and it gave me an opportunity to shut all of it up. Every time I had that thought of don't do it, I said to myself, I made a promise. So anyways, by the time I could actually get out of bed and put my feet on the ground, I said, all right. I remember I sat there for a second and I took a deep breath in and I said, all right, let's do it. And I didn't even know what to do. I literally walked out of my room and I walked in my living room and I was looking around and I was like, okay, I'm doing it, but where do I start? And so I first went in my room and I like found clothes to wear. I didn't even own a sports bra, you guys. I did not own a sports bra. I did not own any clothing. So I based like any like active clothes. So luckily I did have some like leggings, I guess you could call it, but I basically just put those leggings on. I threw on like a long t-shirt and tennis shoes. and I'd put full face makeup on. I actually had like maroon dark lipstick on. It's actually really cute looking at my membership photo because I'm like, okay, Slay Queen. She got really ready, but I decided in that moment the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work out. And so I didn't really know what I was going to do or how I was going to work out, if I was going to go to a gym or not. I just knew that I needed to put activewear on before I like convinced myself not to do it. And so I went and I put my clothes on, got ready, put my lipstick on, got into my car, and I was like, okay, now what? Now what do I do? And I said, well, I'm going to go to the gym because, bestie, I am not going to run. I'm just going to go to the gym. I don't know what I'm going to do at the gym, but like, let's just start there. And so I looked up gyms around me because I didn't even know where any were located. And I found one that was about 15 minutes away from me, and it was called Lots. And I said, all right, bet. Let me go to Lots. It was in Fairfield, Texas. And so I drove to Fairfield. I got there, pulled up, and it says Lots Physical Therapy. I said, honey child, what is this? Is this a gym? Is this a physical therapy? Like, I had it in my head. It was like, if I go in there and it's not a gym and I'm asking for a gym membership, that is going to be the most embarrassing thing in the world because, like, obviously I already have anxiety. I already feel like way out of place. And now I'm walking into a place that I don't even know 100% is a gym or is not. But I saw like somewhat of like this like younger person that looked like she just worked out, like walk out of the place itself. And I said, okay, bet. I think this is the right place. I think this is like good to go. So I walked in and yes, indeed, it was a gym. It was a very small gym. And most of the people working out in there were 70 and up. I love them sweet babies. And I looked around and there was only like a few people in there like actually working out besides like the older folk. And so I said, okay, I'm going to get me a membership. And so I got my membership, and y'all, I was so scared. I had so much anxiety. I couldn't even hold a pen. I will never forget this. Like when they actually had me sign the paperwork for my membership, y'all, I was so terrified that I couldn't even hold a pen. Like when it came time to actually like sign my contract and make it official that I have the gym membership at Lots, I couldn't even hold the pen. Like it literally was like I never held a pen in my life because my hands were shaking. I had so much anxiety. I remember writing it as if I've never written anything in my life, and it was so embarrassing. I'll never forget the person that was checking me out. She was so sweet. But she was probably also like, is this girl okay? But there's no way I'm the only girl that has walked into the gym filled with anxiety, got a gym membership, and was like holding a pen weird. Like, I'm sure that that's happened. I cannot be the only person. But anyways, so then I was like, all right, I looked around. I'm like, cool. Now we're in the gym. We got up, we got dressed. We're here at the gym now. I got the membership. Now what I do? And I'm like, well, the only thing I know how to actually do is walk. So I went and got on a treadmill and I just started walking. And luckily the treadmills were like facing all of the people who were working out. Like I said, it was only a few. And so I was like kind of watching them. I saw like one girl, she was doing like chest press, and then another guy was doing some kind of like maybe bicep curl, something like that. So I was just like watching them, and I walked for about probably 20 minutes. By the time I was done walking, I was drenched in sweat because it did take me out. Walking, I was not active at all before my journey, you guys, like at all. So it did actually, like I was sweating, and it might have been probably a mix of like nerves too. And you know how sometimes, like I used to sweat already pretty bad, but when you're nervous, like I used to sweat horribly. Like when I would get nervous, like I would get this sweat stash so bad. So I'm like sweating and I'm like, oh, okay, I want to do more than this because I don't feel like just walking on like 20 minutes on a treadmill was enough. So I went to the bench and I tried to do like a bench press, like with, dumbbells, like a chest press, and follow kind of like what I saw that one girl doing. I think I literally did 1 or 2 sets of like, I don't know, maybe 8. And then I put the dumbbells down and I said, okay, I'm done. And I left. And I was like, you know what? I feel very accomplished. But then I was starving. Like I was so hungry now and I felt so sick. But then my natural instinct was to go to eat fast food, and I was like, no, I can't eat fast food, but I have nothing at the house, so what do I do? So then this is what made me so mad. I was like, I have to go to the grocery store. And so I drove to the grocery store, just so fed up. I got a headache now. I'm starting to be mad because I'm like starving and I want to go get fast food so bad, but I can't. I'm staying locked in. I'm trying to commit to myself. So I got to the grocery store and then I realized I had no idea what to get. Like absolutely nothing. Before I started my journey, y'all, I actually didn't know how to cook at all. I didn't know how to, I really honestly didn't even know how to make eggs. That's embarrassing. I didn't know how to boil an egg, but making eggs was actually really, really hard. I could not flip eggs to save my life, but like from the extent of what I knew how to cook, eggs was pretty much it. And it was really bad. So when we're talking about cooking like chicken and all that, like I didn't know. One thing I did know how to make was ground beef though, I will say, because I used to make me some hamburger helper like no other. So I got me some ground beef because I did not like chicken. I did not like seafood. I hated turkey. Like turkey used to make me I want to vomit, bro. And that actually comes down to a diet that I did, and turkey was the only thing I could eat. Yeah, I would not touch turkey. Honestly, I didn't touch turkey until I think like after I lost 120 pounds. Like that's how bad of an ick it gave me. But in that moment of time, what I did was I got a lot of lean cuisines. I got, I think maybe like some bananas, uh, I think some random like veggies, but I don't even think I got veggies, y'all. I don't even think I got veggies because the veggies gave me the ick too. So I really think I just stayed in my lane. I think I got the lean cuisines, the bananas, and then ground beef. And so that's what I got. And I was in the grocery store, y'all. I'm not joking, for 3 to 4 hours. It was so long because I was panicking. I knew where nothing was. I was stressed out of my mind thinking like, is this healthy? Is this not healthy? What should I get? And so I really went into the grocery store trying to make like actual genuine, like good decisions. And I'm going to say compared to what I was eating, I definitely did a lot better. Like a lean cuisine compared to like what my norm was is 100% a better move. But I just was like, I just couldn't figure out what I was supposed to get. Like I didn't really know like what I was supposed to buy and also how to like combine it into recipes. And so I kind of just went with like what was safe and went from there. So then I went home. Okay. After that, now I'm like actually dying because I really feel ill. And it's probably like, gosh, it's probably like 3 o'clock now and I haven't ate a single thing. And so I started trying to make some food and I cannot remember what I tried to make, but I destroyed it. It was a hot mess. Like it was all burnt up and like not made right. And so I started eating it and I just was trying for the life of me to just finish it because I was so hungry, but it was so disgusting that I just couldn't, and I bawled. I cried so hard and I'm like, this is so hard. This is so hard. How am I supposed to do this? And I'm actually crying now. That's how much, you see how I started crying around the same time I actually was crying in this story. Wow. That's how you know I was hurting. And it was so hard. And I just remember right then and there, I wanted to give up so bad. And I just couldn't, y'all. Like I couldn't, because I didn't want this to be another journey that I gave up on. I didn't want to be that person anymore. Like I was so sick and tired of giving up and being incapable and accepting defeat every time it was hard or when I was challenged or when it was uncomfortable. Like I was so scared because I could barely take care of myself. And you know why I'm excited to be a mother one day, but also why it's always scared the heck out of me to become one? It's because I was at this place personally where it wasn't about me truly. Like, yes, it was about me. But at the same time, it was like I was thinking about my future children. And I was so scared of not being able to be the mom that I wanted to be. And maybe even becoming a mother, like it scared the heck out of me. Because I really thought like I was at this place of, if I get pregnant now with the habits that I have in place now and how my weight continuously gains, and then I get pregnant on top of that, like I'm going to be like 500 pounds. And that scared me. It terrified me because if I'm 500 pounds, like thinking about starting this journey is even more difficult. And like, how am I going to get by every single day if right now is already so painful? And so I cried it out and I felt like crap. My head was banging, like I wanted to throw up. And I honestly, for some reason, I think I did throw up, but that wasn't abnormal for me. I used to throw up like almost every day because I used to get the worst migraines. I battled migraines for like over a decade, almost every single day. And obviously now I know it was because of the food I was putting in my body. And yeah, because as soon as I actually started my journey and got into it, I didn't have headaches. Now I have maybe one headache a year. And this was going from a place where I used to have headaches every single day for over a decade. That's why I had like a CAT scan or whatever, because my mom thought that I might have had a brain aneurysm or something because it was so severe. And my mom actually had a brain aneurysm. That's a fascinating story. Maybe one day she'll come on here and tell. But yeah, she literally had a 0.002% chance of living. And if she did live, she would have essentially had a lot of issues because of where it was located in her brain. But yeah, that's a fascinating story. If you want to hear a miracle, she's actively a walking miracle. So anyways, but I was just at this place where I knew I had to make a change. And no matter how awful it was and how much in pain I was and how much I just wanted to just throw it all away, go get fast food, watch TV, and just accept defeat, I knew that it was so much bigger than just what I was feeling in that moment. It was like I was making a decision for my future. And every time I was like challenged with that thought of, you can't do this or you got to give up, I didn't think about what I wanted in the now. I thought about where I wanted to be 5 years from now. You know, when I had a family, where I wanted to be when they were teenagers, and when they have maybe kids one day, like who and where do I want to be as a person, you know, in my life and my health and how I feel every single day. Like that was what I was thinking about. And so I sucked it up. And I tried to make another meal. Actually, you know what? I didn't try to make a meal. I actually ate my lean cuisine. That's what I did. I heated up my lean cuisine and I ate that. And I was like, okay, much better. The calm of the storm is gone. And so from there, honestly, it was just a regular day. I watched TV. I didn't do anything. It just so happened to fall on a day that I didn't actually have clients and I didn't have to work. So that was really, really nice for me. Thank God. I don't know what I would have done if that was the case. Ooh, probably would have died. Literally, for real, for real. And so I just watched TV. I just relaxed and I pushed through my headache. And then, of course, I think I made another lean cuisine for dinner. I can't remember. And then I went to bed at a reasonable time. And it felt like one of the longest days of my life. I was mentally, physically, emotionally fatigued, y'all. It took everything out of me to get through my day one. And then the next day I woke up. And this is one of those things that's like, oh, you know, when you have a horrible day and you're like, now you're put in a position of saying, now you have to do it all over again. Like that feeling sucks. But I got up and surprisingly, it wasn't like that. I woke up and I was like, all right, today I'm going to do better than what I did the day before. And obviously I know I have a lot to learn. So I remember spending the days after that, trying to watch videos and learn how to work out and know what to do and so forth. And the rest was history. That was really where, when I tapped into that mindset of saying, I guess I need to learn what I need to do, when that part of me turned on and I this light bulb went on in my head of saying, I need to educate myself, and I know I need to understand nutrition. I need to understand weight training. I need to understand calories, macros, like all of that. That is where I just full blown like shifted into a different person. It was like I wasn't craving weight loss, I was craving knowledge. And because my mindset was so focused on learning everything about the body, it was like it helped me so much with like ignoring the fact of that I wasn't seeing results and I was super inconsistent. And I still did have moments, obviously, for a while there that I would struggle with binge eating. And like I was so inconsistent that my first 6 months I didn't see any weight loss. But I didn't feel defeated because it was like the progress that I was having was in my knowledge. And from a girl that has never taken anything serious, especially like school, if you will, like, I mean, I guess I took school seriously. It wasn't just someone that was like full blown, I love to learn type of girly. For someone that was not like that, it was kind of insane how that like tapped into it. But I think it was because I was finally ready to have the answers I needed for real change. And I no longer was willing to sit there and rely on anything or anyone to get me there. Like I was ready to do me, like in a way I've never done. And the rest is history. Girl, the rest is history. It's insane. So yeah, that was my day one. Isn't that insane? I don't know if you see yourself in that or not. I don't know if you can relate to this or not. But if you can relate to even just a fourth of it, I see you. I tell people that all the time. There's so many people that come in, to my program and they either have really great, perfect day ones, or others have it to where they weren't able to implement, what the program I gave them and this and that, or maybe their anxiety won for the day and they didn't, take their true first step forward, or whatever the situation is. Like I always come to them and remind them, like, it does not matter. Like, it doesn't matter. This is your journey at your pace. Like, you need to allow yourself to have this space to be able to grow on your terms and on your timeline. And when you are in a place where you're not ready, because we never feel ready, but when you are fully willing, because there are multiple parts throughout our journey where we will have to tap into a mindset that says, all right, I'm ready for the next step. All right, I'm ready for this next milestone. All right, I feel myself ready to overcome this and this and this and pour all my energy into making this happen to where I can break the pattern. I can break the cycle. I can overcome whatever the struggle is. There's multiple parts of your journey. It doesn't all just hit you at once and on day one, you just fly like the wind. No, everyone's different. And I have seen so many different day ones, every type of day one that you can think of. And I've seen a lot like mine, which is what makes me also say, like, well, maybe not exactly like mine. At least they have some milk, like guides and workouts and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? Like day ones that feel like a year long, or, or emotionally, mentally, physically, sometimes draining, and so forth. But I also think it just comes down to how really truly day one is your journey. Because sometimes I have clients who come in and they've been, on their journey for maybe a month or two, and they already kind of got their toesies wet. And then I have other clients who come in and just like me, they watched the video, it sparked their motivation, it created this like urgency of change, and they signed up already kind of in a place of like, I'm terrified, but chose to sign up and move forward in my program regardless. And so their day one in my program was a true day one. It's just like, it just depends. And so like when I'm talking to someone starting their journey, the very first thing I always tell them is that you have to give yourself grace. Grace is the most important thing for this day, for this week, for this month. It is an adjustment. It is not about perfection. It is not about being the master of all. You need to take off all these expectations, all this pressure, Throw it out the dang window and allow yourself to be okay with whatever you can give for right now. And let yourself build up on top of that, because that's really what it's all about. I did not kill it from my day one. My day one was a hot freaking mess. And my nutrition was not, I wasn't tracking calories and macros from the day one. I was eating intuitively and cooking more meals at home. And my biggest focus at first was no fast food, like trying to like limit my fast food as much as I could. Obviously, I didn't stick strong to that. Like it took me a while to do that, but like make more meals at home, uh like not drink soda, like do better in that realm, like do that. And then I eventually got into, tracking calories and macros, which, came in time. I can't remember if it was like after 1 month in, 2 months in. I honestly can't even tell you. I can't remember. I was taking it at my pace. And that was the best part about my decision on when I started my journey, was allowing myself the ability to do that. And I think that if I could relay that message to anyone and say, dude, just go at your pace. Don't worry about anyone else. Don't compare your journey to someone else. Don't what are you doing? Like disconnect that whole mindset, because that ain't going to lead you anywhere. What that does is it creates like you to like self-sabotage, like fully dislocate whatever that is from your body, okay? But anywho, you guys, thank y'all for listening. I hope this is actually something y'all enjoy listening to. I don't know if y'all do or not, but if y'all do, I appreciate y'all listening as I share one of my favorite stories in the entire world. It led me here. I would not be sitting here talking to y'all if I did not take that step, if I did not have that one moment. That's why I also love kind of the fact that I'm a, quote unquote influencer, is because it really came from that one video, I was just a girl binge eating, crying, feeling really, really low at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I just so happened to watch a beautiful girl that just sparked the fire in me that said that I can do it too, if she can. And she was doing it, and she looked a lot like me. And like I could tell, like when I saw her eyes, that she and I were that, that different. And I saw that she was choosing herself. It made me choose myself. And that's why I started creating content, and then obviously became a coach. And so, yeah, I love you guys, and I'm so thankful for y'all. Bye.